Hello everybody, welcome to the Braid and Tinker podcast channel. My name is Melanie and today I'm not doing one of my regular podcast episodes. This is more of a sort of, I don't know, chat along video thing. I'm knitting the Stephen West Starflake Mystery Knit Along 2019. And I thought I would record a video about the first clue, which came out this Friday. I have almost finished section 1 and section 2. I just wanted to kind of relax and knit a little bit on that with you today. Because this pattern comes out every week with new clues, and this clue only came out on last Friday. It's Sunday today. So if you don't want to be spoiled and have not knit as far as I have yet, probably save this video for later. There's like a watch later function, I think, on YouTube. If you're not knitting this thing at all, I can imagine you wouldn't be very interested in this video, but you know, it's knitting, so if you just want to sit and chill and watch me, that's also fine. So be warned, I will be holding up the knitting for clue 1, which came out on Friday the 4th of October, any second now. But I'll talk about my yarn choices first. So don't go complaining if you see anything that you don't want to see. I usually don't knit mystery knit-alongs because I like to know what I'm getting. And I mean, in this case, we know it's a Stephen West pattern and we know it's a shawl. So, but that doesn't really say anything if you know Stephen West's patterns. It could be anything crazy. He does mystery knit-alongs every year, I believe, and yeah, I know that some of his patterns have been more popular than others. Sometimes people start the mystery knit-along and it turns out that they don't really like where the pattern is going, and then they just give up or stop knitting or that kind of thing. So so the prompt, I guess, for this year for yarn choices was to get 2 contrasting colours and get 2 skeins of each colour. So 4 skeins of yarn, fingering weight in total, and 2 skeins of each colour. So I chose these yarns. This is West wool yarn, and it's in the bicycle weight, which is a fingering weight, although I find it's more of a sport or DK weight. It's definitely thicker than a regular fingering weight, although it might be similar to like a Rauma Finalgarn, that type of weight. The yarn is 10% Tessel and the rest is Falkland Merino. I'm guessing they put in the 10% Tessel to make it a Dutch style yarn. This is why the Tessel is mentioned first, even though it's got like the least amount of yarn content or fiber content. This color is called Canal House and this color is called Lichen. And I picked these up at the Oslo Knitting Festival this past September. And yeah, I'm really happy with my choices. They are definitely a bit more muted probably than most people's choices. I think what I've seen so far on the hashtag have been lots of bright coloured speckled yarns. Some people have more muted colours like I have, but there's definitely a lot of bright stuff going on. Don't get me wrong, I love brightly coloured yarn. I do occasionally hand dyed yarn, and I do love like a good neon pink. I just, for this shawl, I know what I wear most in my shawls, and it's definitely more muted colors. So this is why I chose these colors. Also, I know that Stephen West has like a very extravagant knitting patterns, so I feel like that's like already very over the top, which is great. But then adding a super speckled crazy yarn, for me, I would probably not wear it as much. So I think toning it down a bit with more, neutral colors is probably a good idea for me personally, but obviously your mileage may vary. So I'm going to hold up my work now. So if you are still here and don't want to be spoiled about the pattern, look away, shut this video down and watch it later. There is a function on YouTube called the watch later function. You can, I think if you click save, it'll automatically add it to watch later, and otherwise it will ask you if that's what you want. Okay, so here we go. This is how far I am. And if you are already knitting this pattern, you will see that these garter chunks in the middle are the sort of Starflake pattern of the middle section, and then I have started the second of the garter bumps on the outside. This is section 1, and this sort of edging part is section 2 of the pattern. It is actually raining right now and the window's open, so if you hear rain, that's why. I need to be a little bit careful because my needle cord is only an 80 centimeter one. I have a longer cord for needles, but it's currently on a different shawl. I'm definitely not going to finish that anytime soon. So I'm either going to have to suffer through this or have to order a longer cable for these needles, and I'll probably do that because I want a longer cable anyway. So this pattern starts out with this star motif in the middle. You start, sorry, I got a telephone call and my phone just exploded. You start knitting these parallelograms, and you start with this one, and there is a video that is in the pattern where Stephen West says that because of you have like 2 colors, and you kind of have to make a choice about what is the main color and what is the contrast color, and I have chosen the darker color as the main color and then the lichen as the contrast color, and that means that I started with this darker color as the first parallelogram. Not a great word to keep saying. Yeah, I really enjoyed this bit. I really liked the I-cord edging on this, and I think I really enjoyed knitting all of those little things and sort of like how you knit them together, and it makes it all very neat and tidy, and it's just weird because then you've like finished the last one and then you don't sort of knit these together. It's open here now with, it's got this hole in the middle, and so we don't know what's going to happen here and what the pattern is going to look like, obviously, because it's a mystery knit along, but it is quite strange. So I'm not sure what I've been doing here. I think this is not correct. Okay. So I was knitting on this downstairs, and Derek is like, is that the mystery knit along? Like, is it a hat or a tea cozy? It does kind of look like that, but that's just because I have it on very short needles. I think it could be a hat, actually. I really enjoyed section 1 with the Starflake. I could see like knitting that shape again, and then because you get like a nice star, closing up the gap at the bottom, and then knitting around with short rows in between the points, and then having it in a square and knitting like a baby blanket or something like that, or just knitting like one star in like a yellow color, and then appliquing that to like a baby blanket. I think it would be very cute. So I was really excited about knitting that part, and then section 2 happened, and we're just sort of knitting around the star motif, and I'm just not really sure where this is going. Also, because this is like open here, so I'm very curious to see where this is going. A friend of mine gave me the advice to not cut the yarn, not cut the yarn in between the sections, so that if you don't like it, you can always like unravel your work and use the yarn for a different project. I thought I was going to do that, and then I didn't. I am cutting the yarn, but I feel like I'm also like really into this. I'm committed. I'm just gonna knit the whole thing, even if I don't 100% like it, because I feel like I should just, you know, I started it, I paid for the pattern, paid for the yarn, I feel like I should just keep going with it. Even though this section has made me very unsure. I can't even explain properly why I'm not feeling it at the moment. I think it's also because the rows are now getting longer, and I don't know, it feels a bit like a slog. But yeah, I'm just constantly being distracted by my phone, and so on this section you need to make some yarn overs, and then on this section you need to do like decrease stitches, and I'm constantly messing them up, and then I do like decreases where I should be doing yarn overs, and yarn overs where I should be doing decreases, and I've just not been paying attention a whole bunch. So that's totally not that's not the pattern's fault, that's my fault. So don't blame Stephen for that. But yeah, I definitely I enjoyed the first bit, and I'm just gonna start knitting for a bit now. I'm just not sure about section 2, but it's also kind of part of the fun, I think. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should just finish this. Also, this is another thing. People are spoiling what they are knitting on the hashtag on Instagram, and it's not really most people's fault, even, because because what you can do on Instagram is do multiple pictures in one post, and then using a cover photo where you write down that you're going to be spoiling the photo after that. You can just write that down, and a lot of people are doing that. The only thing is that Instagram is what they do is they put things in your feed, and sometimes a person that you follow, their photo is way more below, and you haven't seen it yet because you haven't scrolled down that much, and then you close Instagram, come back later, and then what Instagram does is it tries to get you to look at that photo again, but it picks a different photo in the sort of like selection of multiple photos in that one post. So sometimes you just open Instagram, it's immediately opens on photo number 2 of someone that you follow who is making this pattern, and it's not their fault, it's just how Instagram works. And it's obviously not really Instagram's fault, because it's just, you know, it's just trying to survive as a social media platform, and it's trying to get people to stay on the platform as long as possible, which is what that's its goal. So yeah, it's not anybody's fault really, but this is what is happening. So I did see I saw section 1 completed before I'd started knitting, because I'd started watching the video by Stephen Weiss, and then I stopped it because I was like, oh, I don't want to see what section 2 looks like. I just want to knit it and then see what it looks like completed. But I did see section 2 before I started that, because it was just spoiled on the hashtag on Instagram. So what I'm going to do going forward is only watch the video sections from the pattern when I need them. And I'm just going to try and stay off of Instagram for the first couple of days when I'm knitting this pattern, which is, you know, kind of annoying and is really hard and probably will not happen. But I have been trying to not look at Instagram as much as I have, because I don't really want, you know, the whole point of the mystery knit along is that you don't know what you're knitting. You just, it's like a surprise is the reason we all sign up and do this thing. And then when people, you know, I totally get it. You know, a lot of people do it the right way. They post their photos on Instagram as a multi-photo post, and the first one warns for spoilers, but then Instagram messes it up and just selects a different photo from that multiple photo post. Some people actually, though, are also just spamming the hashtag with photos of their work, just like a one photo post with, you know, people were doing that like on Saturday morning. They'd knit through the entire thing, and just on Saturday morning, like, this is what section 1 and 2 looks like, bam, in your face. And it's like, well, hang on, it's not really very nice, actually. I had commented on someone's post I was trying to be polite. I said, could you please, like, next time use a cover photo so that you don't spoil it for most people who are probably not at that point yet. But mysteriously that comment got deleted, so oh well. So I'm probably not gonna, I'm just gonna stay off of Instagram until I'm done with my sections of knitting. I mean, I know I show a lot of knitting projects on the podcast, so people probably assume that I'm a fast knitter. I'm not a fast knitter. I just knit a lot in the evening after work, a lot, hours on end, and that's the reason I have stuff to show on the podcast. So, but I'm not a fast knitter. So it does annoy me when people knit through all of that and they have it, you know, the pattern comes out on Friday, they finished everything because they were knitting Friday and Saturday morning immediately post a photo, no warning, nothing. Or they put in spoiler in like the description box, which helps nothing. So yeah, that's just my little Instagram spoiler rant about this this pattern. But yeah, so if you are knitting on this shawl, I'm curious how you feel about this, but I'm also curious to know how you feel about the pattern up until now. Would like to know that. And if you have then I moved the camera, sorry. I also I'm curious to know if you feel the same as I do. I really like the star shape thing, but as soon as we were knitting the border around it and then kind of like leaving this open, I just don't know how I feel about it now. I'm just gonna keep on knitting, and we'll see next Friday how this will end. I'll probably not have a video next weekend with my work, because next weekend it's Canadian Thanksgiving, and obviously I live in the Netherlands, but Derek is Canadian, and so we celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving with friends, and we will be off to some friends in The Hague most of the Sunday, so I'll probably not have any time to record a video. So don't expect this to be a regular thing, but I might have one again for the week after that, although that's my nephew's birthday party on that Sunday, so it'll be difficult, but maybe I can squeeze in something, because I do like discussing these things, and I'm really curious to know I'm still knitting, that's why I'm talking slower. I'm really curious to know like how people feel about the pattern and how they're doing, and do they still like their color choices and all that kind of thing. So if you have any comments, leave them down below in the description box, and I'd love to know about it. In terms of regular podcasting, I'm planning to record a regular podcast episode on Thursday morning, because on Thursday I am publishing the Odeline sock pattern. I'll just hold it up again. That's this sock. It's my very first sock design, and I'm launching it on October 10th, on Thursday, on Ravelry. And for viewers of the podcast, in that episode there will be a coupon code for a discount that is valid through the entire Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, as a thank you to podcast viewers. But yeah, so I'm really excited. I've given the information to test knitters today to create project pages. There is a thing that Ravelry does, is when you have test knitters, you can give them a code, and because usually when you make a project page on Ravelry, you can link it to a certain design, but because when a design hasn't been uploaded yet, you can't link it yet. So what they do is they give you like a code, and then the people who want to make a project page, because they've test knitted the pattern, they can enter the code, and then they can make a project page. And then when the pattern goes live, it sort of changes all that information, and it automatically links them to the project. So when the pattern is launched, there will already be project pages, hopefully, in the page for the design, which I think is really nice, because when you're thinking about knitting a sock design, it's nice to see, and helpful to see, the design knitted up in different types of yarn, and yarn choices and colors. So yeah, that's all coming this week, so that's exciting. In terms of work, I have quite a fun day tomorrow. A girl from my team, her brother is a principal at a school in Rotterdam, and she asked me to join her for Hour of Code, which is when people who don't do any programming sort of spend some time to learn about programming and computational thinking and that type of thing. So we're going to a school in Rotterdam tomorrow and teach some kids about you know, what is it like to be a programmer, and what is a computer really, and what does it do, and how do you write a computer program, and things like that. So that's very, very exciting, because they're quite young kids, and you know, I don't know what they're interested in, and if they're going to get any of this, or if they're even interested in that. So that's on Monday, and then on Tuesday and Wednesday I have a normal work day. And so Derek finished our bicycle setup in the living room, and I got all my proper rain gear. So on Tuesday and Wednesday I'm cycling to work. I've already cycled twice before, and once I got heavily rained on, which was terrible. But now I have like all the Gore-Tex proper kit, because I do cycle from where I live to my work. It's about 17k, and it takes me about 50 minutes to get there. So that's, you know, it's quite a long time. And then at the end of the day, it's another 17k to cycle back, and another 50 minutes. So it takes about as long as it would take me door to door public transport. So I don't actually lose any time. And I do gain a lot of physical fitness, I would say. And it is more fun to cycle, because I don't have to be on a bus with a lot of people, which I find more pleasant. Not the bus. Bus is terrible. And so that's good. And then on Thursday I'm publishing the Oatline sock pattern, and then in the evening I have a what's the thing called, like a work event thing. I think we're going board gaming somewhere, so that's super fun. And then yeah, work on Friday all day, and nothing on Saturday, thank heavens. And then on the Sunday we have the Thanksgiving thing. So I have quite, for me, that's a very full schedule, and I don't really enjoy it when my schedule is so full. So yeah, oh well, there's not much we can do about that. That's why I've been just planning to do nothing all day today, to just sort of like recharge and make sure I have enough energy to get through this week. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy your Stephen West mystery knit along if you are knitting one. And I hope that I didn't spoil it for you, but I did give you like 3 warnings, so if you were spoiled, it was really not on me. I'll show you again one more time. These are my colours, and really happy with it so far, although I'm not too super sure about section 2. I do like the star bit in the middle. I think it's fun, and it was nice knitting something different instead of a regular wedge shape or triangle shape shawl, right? It's something new, so that's good. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again on Thursday with a regular podcast episode. Bye!